You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G, rejected from Hogwarts because we were too racy. I'm your host, Mike Finkelstein. With me, as always, is...
trying to think of a Harry Potter character. Hold on.
No, that's... I can already tell it's going to be offensive.
Dumblefruit? Dumblefruit?
We're just going to move on. This week, we are going to be talking about Harry Potter, but I think really we're going to be talking about it through the lens of, sadly, J.K. Rowling. Specifically, I think we mentioned her a little and some of the stuff that was starting to happen when we did a podcast on Harry Potter, like, way back when we first started this thing. But, a lot has come out since then. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And, like, when someone can out Ezra Miller on a project...
That's weird.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with this minefield.
So, J.K. Rowling has come out as a TERF. I mean, we're not super conservative. I'm just going to straight up say it. She's a TERF.
I think if you've listened to at least a podcast...
Should be pretty obvious.
Should be obvious.
She is very transphobic. I hear that she's very liberal in a lot of other ways.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that's kind of like, I think everyone has liberal tendencies towards certain things. But if you have one thing you're really bigoted on, then you're not a liberal.
No. It's like when people are like, I'm very liberal, but people should stay in their own countries.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's exactly right.
That's not being a liberal.
I'm for universal health care as long as it doesn't go to black people.
Yeah. So I hope we're never running for office because these out of context are terrible.
These pull quotes are awful. But no, it's this thing of she's supported a lot of charity. She's done a lot of other stuff. I'm sure her philanthropic endeavors up to this point were great. I think she even got like a GLAAD award at some point.
Yeah, because
she sent it back.
Yeah, she did send it back.
Did.
But there was something with like the only reason she's not a billionaire is because she keeps donating all of her money, which is good. Donate your money.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But then you have one topic that you're really, really bad about. It's the Dave Chappelle syndrome.
Yeah.
He's done a lot. He's pushed like the black agenda. I don't want to. That sounds
community,
bad,
black community.
Thank you. He's pushed topics for the black community forward. That sounds so much better.
He's pushing. It's like easy there, Alex Jones.
But I realized the second I said, I'm like, this is bad. This is not what I meant. No, but he's pushing like things for the black community forward. It's been very good for him. I've gone back and watched his shows. His shows are not that great at this point, but it works within the context, I think is the best way to put it. But then he comes out, once again, against trans people, and you're sitting there going, okay, but now no one wants, like, on this whole side of the spectrum, wants to listen to you, because despite all the other things you were doing that's funny and good and so forth, you're really wrong about this.
And it's confusing, too, because it's like, he'll come out and be like, I don't have a problem with trans people, I don't understand it. Okay, end it there.
Yeah, stop that.
These are the reasons why I don't understand it. Okay. Yeah. They're crazy people. Oh, you just... Bro. Keep that one inside.
Well, it's like I was talking with one of my sisters about our sibling who is now agender.
Oh.
And she was saying she didn't understand how this other sibling could be agender. She just doesn't... She can't wrap her mind around it. And it's this thing of, like, she wasn't cruel or anything, but she couldn't get her mind around it. If you can't understand how, like, someone wants to be trans or wants to be agender or something, that's a knowledge gap. I understand this. And she wasn't ever cruel. I talked to her about it, and it was like, it's just the choice they've made. It's where they feel they want to be. It makes them happy. And it's not affecting anyone. Yeah,
I don't like calculus. I don't understand calculus, but more power to you.
You're not out there marching in the street with, like, torches saying boo to calculus.
We should do that, though.
We should have.
Boo calculus. The devil's math. There's an L in hell and calculus.
Oh, hey, there you go.
There's two L's.
Ooh. But yeah, no, to bring us back. So the whole thought is, I can get how someone like Dave Chappelle, like J.K. Rowling, doesn't understand it. But they then, like, I don't know if it's age or just community they came from, or because I know a lot of British people have problems accepting trans people.
Yeah.
Like there's something cultural there. So you get like people like fucking the guy who made the It Crowd, which on its own was very funny until you have to realize like his specific hang-ups. And then you go back and you watch it again. It's like, I don't think you meant to vent this here, but now I can't watch your show because even if there's no mention of it here, I'm seeing stuff.
Which throws me for a loop every time because British people traditionally, especially in the entertainment sector, like dudes would dress up as women characters on the reg. Like it's not weird. Like Monty Python did it. Others that I'm
just Brits.
Brits in general.
Yeah, just Brits.
Yeah.
But it's like I go and I'm watching, and then we get to the point where the goth guy is revealed in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, this isn't even trans, but I'm getting bad vibes off of this plotline. That used to be funny, because now I know what your politics is like.
Yeah.
And so, to bring it back to J.K. Rowling, she has a series of novels she's written since Harry Potter. The Harry Potter books, I mean, you could probably try and go and find some bad thematics in there and other things, but if you don't, it's like with C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah. If you're not looking for it, you might not even realize what the guy was trying to make something about. Like, okay, Aslan is supposed to be Jesus, or he's just this magical lion. You know what? I don't really care.
Yeah. Tolkien did, though. Yeah. They fought over that.
No, but, like, I think most kids now are, like, they're not even getting indoctrinated by it, because they're like, ooh, magical space lion, and then they just fucking move on, because who cares?
Well, we're moving towards an a-religious society, like, super fast. So.
Yeah, faster than I think a lot of people like is part of the problem.
Yeah.
So with J.K. Rowling, she doesn't understand trans people, and for some fucking reason has decided every novel she's written since Harry Potter, not Harry Potter itself, we can hold those aside, but since Harry Potter, has to be very vehemently anti-trans.
Yeah, because her new book is about an author who writes transphobic things on the internet.
And then gets killed. Yeah. And it's a whole murder mystery about it afterwards. You're sitting there going, okay, now
it's
you're just
a little on the nose. It's not even an allegory at this point.
Mary Sue self-insert bullshit where you get to be the hero because you were killed or something. Like,
all right, Stephen King, sit down.
It's not trans. I had my anti-trans. I had my husband read it, and he said it wasn't. Well, he married you. So clearly you guys have, like, certain things you share.
Yeah.
And he's also not the most unobjective opinion.
No, it's like, wait, how much money this is going to make you?
Yeah, right?
Not trans.
I mean, but when you look at, like, even her pen name, which is, I think it's Robert Gilbraith or something. I'm not looking at it. But it's the exact same name minus, like, institution at the end.
Yeah.
For a gay conversion therapy group. And you're the Robert Gilbraith Institution or some shit. Again, not looking it up. And you're sitting there going, so you picked this name as your pen name, and now you're writing anti-LGBTQ stuff. Oh, I'm not doing it. You are. Yeah. Like, the clues are just, it's not even clues anymore, you know?
Yeah. And what, like, kills me, though, is how much of a fan following the Harry Potter series still has, specifically with the LGBTQ community. And it's like, but, like, you guys get justifiably mad with other things that donate money, but...
So let's look at this for a second, because this raises a valid point. And we're going to start way out in left field for a second.
All right.
Okay, so people group LGBTQ plus IA, all the letters, whatever. And I did that in the wrong order, and I'm sorry. But they group all of that together as one community.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's not.
They're not. And I think that's a valid point to raise right here is, like, I watched an episode of Queer Eye from, like, second or third season, and they helped a trans person who had no style, because that's their job, is to get style and to help them with their lives.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. And then they were sitting there going, we didn't realize all of this stuff was here with this portion of the community. We just kind of took it for granted. I think that's what a lot of gay people could do. I'm not saying they do. I'm not doing a blanket statement here, but I think there could be people that are fans of J.K. Rowling and don't, like, even if they're in the community, don't see the material.
Well, and it's the same thing, and this is what kind of kills me too, is, like, J.K. Rowling, but actually both of them, because Rowling is female, obviously. They have not had a lot of rights up until recently. Dave Chappelle's black dude hasn't had a lot of rights until recently. And even then, both groups, in my opinion, are lacking in some areas, right? Like with rights.
Yeah.
So it's astounding to me how many people in the LGBTQ community specifically don't understand their own history. Like they'll march in the pride parades, but pride started because of trans women at Stonewall in New York. It's like, but how you can't. And then my brain shuts down. And then like with Dave Chappelle specifically and J.K. Rowling, because they're not part of the LGBTQ community as far as I know.
Yeah.
But like they're both part of marginalized groups. Like it's just causing more divisiveness for no reason. And I can't, that's the part that I can't wrap my head around. Like, you don't have to understand trans people. All you have to understand is that trans people don't have the same rights that everyone else does.
Yeah.
And you, from marginalized communities, should be like, okay, that's whatever. Like, I don't understand what it's like to be a woman, so, or black.
I think there's a spot of fear here that I think that all of this hate comes from. And I mean, now we're getting into it here.
Sociology 201.
It's and I don't think people acknowledge this enough. It's not just they don't understand or that it's how they were raised. Like those are all factors of it, but what it really comes down to is fear. You're acting out of fear. I'm going to lose something by helping this other group out. J.K. Rowling says, I could be attacked in a bathroom, but from a trans woman, which doesn't happen.
Doubts.
But she's got fear. It's coming from fear. Even if we like just set everything else aside and say, maybe she thinks she has a point. Yeah. Maybe she really legitimately thinks this. This is part of who she is. It's an act out of fear. Dave Chappelle with not understanding trans people, maybe he thinks that by giving trans people more rights, it sets back the people, like, it takes...
rights away from his...
And not even rights, it just takes attention and money away from advancing the African-American community. Like, it could just be an act out of fear. I know when we're talking about white people... everything that happens when they're being racist or sexist.
That's always fear.
Always fear. It's like, if we give more money to these people, doesn't that mean it comes out of my pocket?
No.
Or out of my rights? Right? It's like, no. It's this tax money that's already tax money. Like, the federal government isn't going to raise a 5% tax against white people just to fund everyone else. That's not how the government works. And you thinking that it's how that works means you need to go back to elementary school and learn how the fucking government works.
Like, when I talk about taxation in business class, like, and these kids are, 16, 17, 18 years old, and they're just like, what? My mom said, your mom's wrong.
Your mom's just fucking wrong.
She's wrong. Your dad's wrong. Like, this, literally, this is a part of the tax code.
Yes.
Look at it. This I copied and pasted this from a law. Like...
And I mean, and you can see, even when the Democrats have everything in power, the Democrats can't do shit on a big move. Like, it's little moves. You can't turn the boat and suddenly be like, well, we're just going to completely rewrite the tax code and everyone's going to be on board with it on the left. Yeah. That's not how this works.
Because it took, 40, 50 years for the stuff Nixon started. Not Nixon, Ford. Ford started to get to...
the civil rights shit.
Yeah, or not the civil rights. I was talking about the tax where the income gap started.
Oh, okay. Well, and I mean, sometimes...
more Reagan, but...
I was going to say, sometimes you get people that can make one big move. Reagan fucked things up royally. But then he came in on what can only be described as the dumbest fucking mandate possible. Winning 49 of 50 states for no fucking reason. So he was like, I can do whatever I want. And everyone looked at him as like, you won practically every electoral vote. You can do whatever you want. And they just kind of let him do the dumbest shit possible.
Yeah.
And we're still paying for it. 40 fucking years later, we're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Woo. That was a really long rant away from J.K. Rowling.
No, it all ties together. Because
it does.
All I'm saying is if 2-3 days ago we were saying God save the Queen, and now we can say God save the King, not that big of an issue.
Yeah. Okay, I like the Queen. I'm not going to lie.
I liked her too.
I mean, we're Americans. We're allowed to like the Queen because she doesn't affect us in the slightest.
No, she had some colonization issues, but who doesn't?
I mean, you can find anyone with who served for 70 years in politics, which is basically like 3 people. But you can find anyone like that and find all kinds of things that in their past that they're probably not proud of.
Yeah.
That they shouldn't have done and they should have known better. On the flip side, and we are way off base at this point, but let's
No,
just have this.
J.K. Rowling's English. It's
She's
fine.
British. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can, if you look at what happened with the Queen, and I mean, she was not expecting to be Queen. She was like a different branch of her family was supposed to be in charge, and then her uncle flaked out, and then her dad died while she was young, and suddenly a woman that was never expecting to be this had to give up pretty much every right she had. Yes, she gets to live in comfort, but she basically gets to have no voice in anything.
Yeah.
And she did that for 70 years. That is impressive.
Yeah. She outlived all of her opposition, though. That's some hate living.
Well, not all of her opposition. She didn't outlive her son, Charles.
Yeah. He doesn't look too healthy either.
He's not going to last. Well, he's suddenly got a very stressful job, dumped at him at the age of 76. I'd be surprised if he lasts a decade.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to J.K. Rowling. So, like, fear is a motivator, and I think we can... I'm not cutting slack to anyone, to J.K. Rowling, to whoever the fucking creator of the It crowd is, Dave Chappelle, anyone like that. Like, you get a lot of dumb people with really bad things they say. I'm not gonna, like, tolerate the things they say, even if I can't understand it comes from fear.
Yeah.
I wish more people could just simply be like, you know what? What you're doing doesn't affect me. Like, yes, I have to see you. But I don't have to attend your gay marriage if I don't want to. I don't have to be there when you get, like, your trans surgery or whatever. For the most part, you're going to continue doing your life. I'm going to continue doing my life, and that's that. And all I ever really want is to be left alone.
Yeah.
So, if what you're doing doesn't bother me, and it doesn't, because it doesn't affect me, I live in my house, I do my life, go do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
As long as it doesn't hurt someone else. Or...
It's legal, it's consensual, you're fine, go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. It's not hurting anyone.
Nope. So, that can extend to a lot of stuff. We could talk about, like, drugs and, like, certain substances we have that are illegal probably could be legal, like pot. Because, by and large, it's not going to affect you any worse than substances that we currently have. Like...
Tobacco
and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, I guess you should say nicotine, because tobacco's not really around too much anymore.
Tobacco, screw it. Tobacco-derived products. But like you could extend this to a lot of stuff if we want to just branch further afield. But to bring it back to what we were talking about, the people that are being vociferously vocal about
Nice word.
about what's going on and the things they hate spread a lot of hate to people, their fans, that are listening. And you're like, well, no, they're allowed to have whatever opinion they want. But it's different when I, who have a podcast of 14 people, like, that's my audience, say some stupid shit. Because, like, all I do is I lose a person, and the rest of them are like, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
When you're J.K. Rowling and you have millions of people listening to you, your soapbox means more. Mm-hmm. So when they say stupid shit, I really wish they would get canceled, because, at least for a little while, so they can go and be like, man, I said some stupid shit there. I should have known better. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Because people can grow. I believe that. Like, James Gunn, he was canceled for all of a month.
Yeah. But I mean, he was canceled after he'd already put in his growth. But still, yeah.
But he
put in his growth.
He put in, yeah.
So.
Bleh.
Since we're on the topic of Harry Potter, though, I don't know if you've even bothered trying to watch any of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
I watched the first one and half the second one.
That's about what I did.
Yeah.
I didn't think the first one was bad.
It wasn't.
It was tolerable.
It was all right.
There were some good character interactions. Like, there was actually, up until, like, the last act, there was actually a focus on the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
It actually, for a good 2/3 of the movie, did what the title suggested.
Yeah.
Then it all fell apart when it actually decided to introduce a Voldemort-like character and, like, some big conspiracy that didn't need to be there. But...
Yeah, that's... Like, I wish it was just a dude traveling around, like, let's look at the animals, like a Steve Irwin-esque type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been fine, but then it's like, I don't care about this conspiracy.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives, but with weird animals as well.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
Oh, that'd be so cool. But I just didn't care. Like,
No.
I don't think that Harry Potter's world is that interesting to begin with.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's probably a way you could do it. But it needs to not be focused on the same bullshit over and over again.
Yeah, like do a Fern Gully-esque type thing or something. I don't know. But it just didn't...
I mean, I would watch a show set in the Hogwarts world of just like a bunch of people at one of the lesser schools that doesn't get attendance, like a Greendale Community College style Hogwarts.
That'd be dope.
Just a bunch of losers hanging around trying to learn basic spells and having like dumb adventures.
There's a Key and Peele sketch of
Yes.
Harry Potter
Yes.
in a ghetto school.
Yeah. I mean, that sketch alone shows the legs you can get out of the concept of
I'd watch that.
the Harry Potter world, but not set at one of the big schools or the big governments or whatever. Just people being people.
Yeah.
But wow, the second movie was just an utter piece of shit.
Yeah. Is it on the third one now?
If there is a third one, I couldn't even make it through the second one because it's like I got halfway in with the murder mystery. I'm like, where are the Fantastic Beasts? Like, the whole modus operandi of this movie has been abandoned.
Yeah.
So, it was bad.
It's like watching the Hobbit movies again.
I can't. I did it. I did them once for the website, and I'm never watching the Hobbits again. I'll watch the Lord of the Rings TV show over those ones because, like, it may not be that much better, but that marginal better is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because I kind of liked the Hobbit at first, and then just stopped.
You know what? We should do this for the next podcast.
The Hobbit?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. So
It's only 12 hours.
this has been Not So Live for Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein, still trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with J.K. Rowling.
Hufflepuff.
Josh Hufflepuff Schaefer.
Yeah, I think that's the house I was sorted in.
Hufflepuff's okay. I liked Ravenclaw.
I did too. I was really mad I didn't get it because ravens are awesome. Purple's my favorite color.
And claws.
Yeah, and I wear glasses, so clearly I know how to read.
Gryffindor's stupid.
Yeah,
I don't like. They're too high on their own shit, and I mean, no one wants to be a part of Slytherin unless you want to be branded as the villain.
Yeah.
Ravenclaw's pretty cool. They're the outsiders.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.